Hey everyone! Welcome back to Crafting with JC. I have a couple of super awesome DIYs to share with you all today. They're very inexpensive to make, but they definitely look like you spent a whole lot more. So let's get started. For the first DIY, you will need a pack of 10 1-gallon paint sticks, and aside from glue and paint or stain, this is pretty much the only supply you'll need for this project. I cut them down to about 9 inches. I just want to cut off the curved handles, but save those handles because they will be used in the end. Once they are cut, I'm going to stain them using Minwax in Dark Walnut. You can also paint them or leave it as is. With a cloth, I rub the stain on, and I want the outcome to be dark, so I leave it on a bit before wiping out the excess. I also stain the back. Since I will be applying glue on the sides, I leave that area unstained. I will be gluing these 4 paint sticks together and these 3 together. And I did leave the back of the 4 unstained because I'm going to sand the white ruler marks down, since this will make the back of the piece. Of course, I should have done that first before staining. I completely forgot, but I am glad I remembered before I got to the last 4. So I sand down the white marks, and that does come off quite easily. As long as it's faint, you really won't even see it once it's stained. You can definitely sand down the whole 12 paint sticks if you want as well, but it really wasn't going to be seen, so I left it as is. So I glue the groups together. I'm using Titebond Multi-Surface glue, and I brush over with a small paintbrush to get that on evenly. After I glue together 4 paint sticks, I glue 3 together. And for extra durability, I glue down small craft sticks which have been cut and stained, making sure to leave about 1/8 of an inch space on one end. Now I'm going to take 2 single paint sticks and glue them together to make an L shape. Then glue that to the 3 glued paint sticks like so, making sure it dries at a 90-degree angle. And then I take another single paint stick and glue that to the opposite side. And finally, I glue the 4 glued paint sticks to the back like so, making sure it dries at a 90-degree angle as well. And look how gorgeous this turned out. It does feel quite sturdy. It doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart, so you can leave it like this to hold lightweight items, but for extra support, I did cut out 2 small pieces of wood from the leftover curved handles. I'm going to glue them to the back like so. It does fit perfectly in that slot, and this will definitely give it that extra support and keep the back from coming apart. Make sure to clamp it or tape it together so that it dries properly. I just love how this piece turned out. For the second DIY, you will need 4 5-gallon paint sticks. They came in a pack of 3 for under $1 at my local Home Depot. I'm going to make a frame with these, so 2 of them I cut down to about 17¼ inches just to remove the curve handles, and the other 2 at 13¾ inches. You can paint or stain these to your liking. I'm painting them with black acrylic paint. These would also look absolutely beautiful stained, which would bring out the natural wood patterns. I paint the sides, but I am avoiding painting the areas that I will be applying glue on, a couple inches on one side of the 2 shorter ones and the ends of the longer ones. Once the paint dries, I glue them together to form a rectangle. For extra support, I turn the frame over and secure with a staple gun. For the back of the frame, I cut out a piece of cardboard just enough to fit, and this was just from an old trifold cardboard display I had. You can also use Dollar Tree's foam boards. You'll need scrapbook paper or decorative cardstock. I'm going to be using this canvas that has scrapbook paper Mod Podged on top. I easily pulled it off a wooden frame which I used for a previous DIY. I'll also be using this adhesive cork sheet from Dollar Tree, and I turn it over and place it under the frame and mark the area to cut out. I'm going to stick this on top in the end when the piece is almost complete, and that way I won't lose any of the width. If I have partial cork under the frame, I won't get the full width of the cork sheet, plus there will be gaps between the cardboard and the frame. So I lay it down where I want it to be and I tape it down, then glue the decorative paper right next to it. On the decorative paper side, I'm going to add a pocket, and I'm going to use burlap for that. So I cut out a 10 by 6 inch piece of burlap. You can also use fabric if you prefer, and I hot glue that down. I probably should have just cut out that extra fabric instead of gluing it to the back, but that's okay. Then I apply glue all around the edges where the frame will be placed, and I'll also be securing with staples in the back. Then I place the frame on top and clamp it until it completely dries. I'm going to add a small wooden paint stick where the cork and decorative paper meet, so I measure, cut, and paint to match. Once the glue has dried, I peel the adhesive off the cork and place it on top of the board. Then I hot glue down the smaller paint stick. I flip over the frame and secure the board with staples. To hang, you can use rope, place it so it hangs on top, or you can glue it lower so that it'll be hidden. And I decided to use twine, so I just doubled it up and tied a knot on the ends. Then I glued and stapled it low enough so that it won't be seen. And finally, I'm going to add this wooden sign to the top. I made this for a previous DIY, it's optional, but I thought it completed the piece. And that is it, a beautiful decorative organizer for your home or office. I just love how this turned out. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed this video. Have a wonderful day. Bye!